Good evening everyone. My name is Mihir Chawla and I am the Chief Commissioner of the Student Election Commission here at IIT Madras. I along with my co-commissioners Adra and Saket would be moderating this soapbox. I'll now explain the format of the soapbox. First we'll begin with the candidates presentation which will go around for 7 minutes. Post that we'll be moving on to the Executive Council questioning since there are no opposing candidates. Uh, then we'll be taking audience questions. A sincere request to general audience to please maintain decorum and follow a code of conduct. And please do not heckle or disturb the candidates. Shriram, you can come and present.
Hi, I'm Sriram and I'm a fourth year undergrad student of Engineering Design Department. And I'm standing for the post of Cultural Affairs Secretary, Arts. And this is my manifesto. It's been 2 years and we've had a lot of ups and downs. And these are the 4 vision points which I'm going to concentrate on to make sure we build a solid foundation for the future years, and also that we reclaim our cultural scene. Starting off, my first manifesto point is of transforming institute into a cultural hub. Right now, INSTI is barren and has no cultural monuments or landmarks. My aim is to transform our INSTI into one that displays our culture and also promotes art. My main point is about setting up an INSTI radio. So we'll be setting up INSTI radio, which will have a dedicated team running it. It will have year-round activity and programs. It has a 3-phase program where we'll be starting off first with a free online internet radio platform, and then slowly we'll move on to phase 3 where we'll be setting up our own frequency station. Next up we have the Performing Arts Festival. It's our first ever collaborative project between all the arts contingents. To visualize, it's sort of like a Broadway play, and it's a large scale showcase of a scale which we've never seen before, and it also gives the contingent a lot of it gives them an opportunity to display their talent and their collaborative efforts. For visual transformation, so I'll be transforming the campus visually through sculptures, wall paintings and art projects. These will be depicting our heritage, our culture, and these will be set up at cultural hotspot and wherever people gather a lot. We'll also be setting up an art gallery. So it has 2 phases. We'll first be setting up a temporary art gallery at the starting, and then it will be a proper platform to publicize INSTI talent in art. Next up, we are fostering culturals. It's not only about pushing people into culturals, but about making it more comfortable for them to take part in and easier for them to be part of. So these are the points regarding that. Board of Culturals, it's a student board consisting of events, course, Culsex, and all the lit and sock sets of all the hostels. This will give a platform for all the hostel residents to publicize their concerns on an INSTI-wide level. The Linguistic Club is a club which promotes learning of Indian languages through cultural activities. We'll also have cultural camps during the vacations. The target audience are mainly freshies workshops and people who want to develop their skills and who want to give unadulterated focus to their cultural endeavors. This is a documentation of posted on the Sangam website. We'll be documenting everything, every Sangam event, every small regular occurrences as well, and all of them will be available on the website to look back. The magazine incubator is kind of like the Sangam incubator, but for magazines, where we'll be promoting people who want to explore a particular sphere, and they'll be given assistance and budget for that. PG immersion, so we'll be having exclusive club initiative events after the club weekender, only for PGs, and this will be for timings which are suitable for them as well. So for Sarang, my main aim is to make sure that we have a solid sarang and we stick to the basics, and also that we make it sustainable for the future years. These are my points for it. Mardi Gras, it's a weekend extravaganza which will be kind of like sarang, but we'll be organizing it during the odd semester. We'll have a free pro show during it, a few celeb talks and events and the whole work. And the main reason is that it will increase hype for sarang, and also it will give all the sarang teams ample on-ground experience. Sarang village is Nova Vertical during sarang. It's a 5-day theme zone in front of the CLT lawns, and each day it will depict the theme of one rural area. Media Confluence is another Nova Vertical. It will be catering to the untapped region of mass media, journalism and writers, and it will be a 2-day confluence and with scope of expanding it for 2 further days. A marathon will commemorate the start of sarang. It will raise awareness about that year's social campaign as well. And finally, we have the organizing team. For the organizing team, it's about making it more professional, also giving them a steep learning curve and good value even after they graduate. So I'll be implementing a formalized work platform which will ensure clearer communication, cross-team communication between all the teams, and it will also ensure better collaborative efforts. Organizer's portfolio will give the organizing team a lot of recognition which they usually don't get for all the small tasks they do. And at the end of the year, every organizing team member will get a portfolio dedicated to them, and that can be showcased in any platform. Club is structure. So all clubs will have a code of conduct drafted to guide their working and new initiatives, and will also their existing duties will also be updated to include some essential additions. Finally, these are my credentials. I am the present event scorer of Sarang and Sangam. I was a convener for Variety Club and Comedy Club. I was a member of the Variety contingent and the Comedy contingent, and during my second year I won silver at Inter-IT. This is Sriram again. Thank you for coming to my box.
We'll be moving on to the executive council questions now. We'll ask them at the end only.
Hello. Sriram will come to your manifesto in a while, but before that, we have a few questions regarding the work you have done so far, right? You've been, you only put up your credentials from the event, from the cultural sphere, right? But you've also been a part of other teams so far. So, one thing is, we've received complaints about your tenure as an event scorer, about you imposing your ideas on a few clubs, you not listening to the conveners, and yeah, a lot of clubs are unhappy with your tenure as the event scorer. Okay, this cannot be what a Kalsak candidate is, or as a Kalsak you have to be responsive to the suggestions and the concerns of your team members as well. That you will, so that is the first part I want you to respond to. And Sarthak has also a few points to add.
Yeah, you can answer the first part and then I'll ask the other ones.
Yeah, to respond to the first part, as an event score, we usually function as a team of 3, and we are also, made to implement the Kalsak's vision as well. So when we have a lot of things to balance, and especially in an online year, there was a lot of miscommunication about what the primary focus for that year was. And when that happens, we had to make sure that some of the clubs were happy and some of them would be unhappy with
So, see, there's always a middle point. You can always ensure that you convey your vision properly to your club conveners. It's not always like that you have to impose it on them, right?
I haven't been imposing it on them as far as I know, because it was just about the type of visions and the type of events they could do in addition to their existing duties as well.
So adding to this, you were the GE events co last year, right? So you haven't mentioned in the credential, but that's fine. I mean, you are applying for the cultural affairs secretary. So regarding that, you were the GE events co, you were the sole person, and even though your GE co's asked for a team, but there was no team, you were the only person, and there were no managers or even deputy heads for that matter. Why is that the reason, and why wasn't anything done during your tenure last year? I mean, that's concerning because you are also applying as a cultural affairs secretary, and you will have a very important position in the institute cultural sphere. And if that has to continue during your tenure, then it will be a very bad tenure for the culturals as a whole.
So just to clarify, the GE course in my year, I didn't want them to not have me a team. They were like, you wouldn't get a team, and you would be the de facto manager of another team if you wanted to. And that was how I was given. I was the core in name only, and that's why I haven't mentioned it anywhere as well that I was a core, either in my resume or in the credentials here as well.
Right, so that's fine, but as a head, don't you think you have the responsibility to, even if the coach are saying that, okay, you should not have a team, but something should be done in your tenure, right? Like literally nothing was done as an events head.
I was part of I was a manager of the World Culture team,
Right.
and I was in the core of that team. So whatever suggestions I could give were not going to be implemented unless they were approved by the course.
Right, I'm not talking about the World Culture team at all. I'm talking about the GE
The events team is basically going to conduct whatever the World Culture team does.
No,
And
that's not true. This year, the events that are happening as part of the GE events are completely different from what the World Culture team is supposed to do. So
during my
even though it's
tenure, it was
completely
different because they were like you would be doing the part of mainly executing the events that the World Culture team would ideate on. That was the debrief I got as well.
I think we did not go in the details, but still, I mean, my major concern is as you will be handling the cultural sphere of IIT Madras, which has been there for more than 50 years, and this is very important for the IIT Madras. And if you were not able to perform as a GE events co, then how should the GSB expect you to perform as a cultural affairs secretary? That is my major question. Nothing else apart from.
How many events did you conduct as a GE events co?
None. I was the GE events core by name only. I was actually the manager in the.
What does that mean?
That means that they gave me the PR and they were expecting us to go back on offline. If we went back offline, I would be conducting the international.
This year, even while the
This
tenure
year
was
it was
online,
different.
there were a lot of events that were conducted.
Yeah, it was different. But that was the first time the GEC whole structure was implemented. So there was not going to be that much focus into each of the verticals.
No, but then the verticals, if the focus wasn't going to be there in the verticals, then why were the verticals created in the
It
first
was the
place?
pilot team, so obviously there would be some.
And the pilot team continued, right? So the team continued for a reason. The reason was that there is scope in the team for the team to work. And even that, given that as a fact, then for the first tenure nothing happened and still the team continued. That means that there is a scope. If nothing happened in the first tenure, then the team would have been scrapped, right? That is correct.
I'm not saying they not say scope, but in my year they were concentrating on different things. And obviously they would have seen that there were scopes in different areas and they would have continued on that.
See, there are also complaints about your tenure as the hockey club convener.
Yes.
Do you want to respond to those?
Yeah, definitely. So the hockey club convener, no one else was applying to it. I took it up purely as because I was part of the hockey club provincials and no one else was applying. I took it up voluntarily. And the work I did was basically during online we couldn't. Hockey is a very difficult sport to do online. So whatever we did, I gave them a personalized training plan for beginners, intermediate people, and advanced people. And I created a group for it as well. And it's all documented in.
So now that this semester has been offline,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
And what did you do this semester as the hockey club convener?
So I conducted the NSO selections, both.
That is your duty and responsibility.
And
You will do that.
I conducted the beginners camp where we had a majority of PG people attend, which was a first.
In follow-up to what you said about no one else applying, we don't have anyone else applying for Kallats also. So what does that tell about no one else applying?
That just means that, this is going to be something which I'll have to learn from my mistakes before and make sure it doesn't repeat again, which I've been showing multiple times with every year as I progress.
Moving on. So you've talked about a formalized platform of communication for the organizing team, right? You've told Meta something in that. So if you felt this was necessary, why did you not implement it during our tenure, especially given the fact that we had an online tenure? And don't tell me that you realized the problem this year because you are also an online convener.
So the work platform wasn't implemented before because the plans I had for it were different. So the platform which I was going to do it was Discord, and a lot of conveners has this. I didn't want to impose it upon them, so I didn't do it.
I think we started using Discord last year itself.
Yeah, that was, I wanted to do
We
it
started
for-
using Discord in 2021.
Yeah, I'm not saying I wanted to do it for one team. All the teams I wanted to do it.
We're
And
doing
we-
it for all the teams.
Yeah, we do it only during SARA, not throughout the year, right? Do we do it throughout the year?
See, if you were a responsible core,
Yes.
you would have made the events happen on Discord, or like you would have had meetings there. You would have, there was a platform that was set up for use. You did not use it.
Yeah, I considered whatever the pros and cons were, and I found out.
Okay,
that
what were the
Discord-
pros and cons? What was your thought process there?
WhatsApp is a much simpler platform compared to Discord, because Discord is basically just an alternative to WhatsApp.
And how effective was WhatsApp? Because I have seen that conveners do not respond even on WhatsApp.
Yes.
Yeah, so how does this differ? Like, if
So
we
I-
set up a work platform.
I'll explain. So basically, for the work platform, this has two main divisions. One is that there is a feed. So it's kind of like Facebook, where each team can very simply showcase what they're doing. And this is very integral, I believe, because our teams have to know what other teams are doing without communicating with them. Directly, they can just see what the other teams are doing. And they can just, if they would like to collaborate, or if there are any communication gaps, they can just see the feed of the other teams. And second, because it's also like the Slack, the second vertical is like Slack, where it's integrated. So that gives an air of professionalism, which I believe our team would benefit from in the future endeavors as well.
Do you know that Slack was actually implemented in SARA earlier?
Yeah. See, that's why I'm implementing Slack plus something else, which is the addition I'm giving here.
Okay, do you have something about this initiative? Can you show us something, like, do you have it prepared?
What do you want?
Do you have like a demonstration of how this platform works? Will the GSB be able to see what work the teams are doing, or do you want to keep it in-house?
It's like Facebook. It's basically Facebook.
So anyone in the world can sign up and see what's happening inside?
No. So it's only for that particular organization. So it's like Facebook within an organization. That's the best visualization.
GSB can access that?
No.
GSB can't access
No,
it.
they
Well, then
can't.
why are you making a portfolio?
Portfolio. Portfolio is not related to this. Portal.
Yeah, the workspace platform.
So the it's not for the GSB. It's for.
So tell me, who can access it? Who can see what?
All the people in the organizing team will be added to this.
So all the people in the organizing team will be able to see what every other team in the
Yes.
organization is doing.
Yes. And
Don't-
they have, the other organizing teams have to display that. It's not like everything they work on will be displayed. Whatever they choose to display on their feeds will be displayed.
So what incentive is there for the cores of, let's say, the Proshos team to display what artists they are working on, or who they are contacting, or what work has been done so far?
It's basically like, let's say, if you display whatever artist you are working on, and there might be clashes with something else, let's say.
How?
Can I just add something? Has the Proshos team tried this before?
No, not Workplace.
No, we have. We have tried to keep our.
Have you tried Workplace?
Yeah, 1 second. Yeah, we have not Workplace. We've used,
Yeah.
let me tell you, we've used Notion this year with the sole. Wait, just let me finish. With the sole purpose of keeping a very detailed report of what happens throughout the SEM, not just the major events.
Yes.
And that never happens. One, mainly because there's no money to pay for storage, because after a point, all of these platforms need money for you to keep storage basically. And there is no way that this is sustained with all the teams in Sarang. So that divide of few teams doing it and other teams not doing it, similar to the work that gets done, will happen here.
Just a clarification. So the feeds they will be displaying, it's not going to be detailed reports of what you're doing. That's where I think you probably face an obstacle. Notion and Trello would be places where you would need to go a lot into the details. Here, you just need to put up maybe a post or something saying that this is something we are working on. This is the idea of what we work on.
Yeah.
And people can commit on it.
It wasn't detailed. I get what you're saying. It's a post. It's like a brief on what it is, right?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
And it's very easy to put up as well. Like while you're doing the task itself, or like when you start off with ideation itself, you can put up, yeah, ideating on this. These are the whatever. These are the things we are working on. That's why I was like, this might be a very good initiative to try it.
Yeah, we did try it and it didn't work out.
You did it very deep down, right? When you went into Notion, you'll have to go deep down into whatever. Right now you said that we did a lot of things, like we wanted very detailed reports on everything. I don't want detailed reports to be published with other teams. I just want you to put up very shallow facts on the face of it so that the communication channels are a bit clear.
So the barrier here wasn't the detailed report. It was just opening up Notion for someone to even update this, because it's unnecessary. ProShows doesn't need any other team apart from a couple of teams to be aware of what we're doing. Just saying. It's totally...
A couple of teams is what I'm targeting.
See, can you also control the target audience to your post? Can you make sure that, let's say the ProShows team is putting up a post, can you make sure that only the spawns team and the events team...
Yes. That's also possible.
Okay.
You have put up that in Sangam website there is going to be a tab where detailed documentation is going to be there. What sort of documentation are you planning to put it up?
So by documentation I mean pictures and videos.
Don't you think the documentation is being done by the QMS team already?
No, this is pictures and videos.
Yeah, Media Club is already, covering all the events and doing the documentation.
They are covering only the major events. I have updated the duties so that they cover everything in time.
So you have just updated their duties?
Yes.
Also, coming back to the first point, right? This is again about your work ethic as a core, right? So the Sangam events budget for this semester has not been presented yet. This was supposed to be presented in January. Why is it so? Like, why has that not happened yet?
It wasn't supposed to be presented in January because the previous budget we had was till the second trimester.
Okay, let it be till the second trimester. The second trimester ended in... Yeah, it's ending now.
Yes.
Okay, so... I mean, like, there are not going to be any other... Both of the Culsecs have mentioned that there are a limited number of SLC meetings that happen.
Yes.
And we have also asked you repeatedly to present the budget to us.
Yes.
Why was the budget not presented until this week?
Because while moving back offline, there are a lot of clubs which want to do a lot of things.
Okay.
Even today, we have the Lifestyle Club which put up that they wanted to do a masquerade night, and they want to do it in April itself. So to account for that, we had to postpone the budget and to account also for Indirect, which was a possibility till very recently.
But yeah, so this is on your long-term investment point.
Yes.
You presented the budget to the Culsecs. You know that this year, almost 4 or 5 out of the 7 items you have put, stage lights, media equipment, dance mats, full-size mirrors, music equipment, we are going to purchase this semester. Why is it in your manifesto?
Because I want to be accountable for it, and I'm pretty sure that we won't get approval for all of them.
How can you say that?
Because we don't have the budget for it. How much do you have budgeted?
Shouldn't you answer that?
You are the events coordinator. You're supposed to know how much we have budgeted for.
Yeah, and whatever we budgeted for is not the full list, right?
Yeah, that's not the full list, but like we are saying.
It's about 4 to 5 or 7 that we are covering in this part.
We covered drama and we covered media. I have nothing else.
No, I'm talking about the. We have also.
We've also covered music and we are also covering the
parts of media. Only drama is fully covered. Everything else is only parts of it.
Okay.
Don't you think proposing long-term investments and the budget is part of events, course and convenience job? Is it worth the manifesto fund?
It's not about work, it's about showing the GSB that I'm going to be, investing
Part of
in
your
it.
job is what I'm saying.
Why is it part of my job? It can be, I can do short-term investments as well. It's not a required part of my job as well.
Okay, let's say you have your Sangam budget.
Yeah.
So you have different verticals, right? Learning, contingent.
Yes.
So like how much percentage, let's say the ratio or percentage that you'll be giving the split?
For all of them.
Yeah, for each.
So for learning, we would normally give, I'll say from the online tenure. Offline. Okay. Offline tenure. So for learning, we would give about 20%. For representation in other fests, if there is inter-IT, we would give. Yeah, if it's representation in other fests, and if there is inter-IT, there is a major chunk. We usually use 6L for inter-IT, percentage I calculate. And for performer competence critic, that's another major chunk. We usually use upwards of 4L per semester.
Okay, so you said we will be spending major chunk like 6L on the contingent, no? Contingent is just 150 to 200 members, and GSB that you should be, serving is like around 9,000 to 10,000. So the ratio is like almost 0.1%. So like spending your major chunk of 6L on the contingent, how do you justify this?
So inter-IT, basically if we focus on inter-IT and we focus on our contingent, the logic behind it is that they inspire people to join culturals, and if they perform well and if they are more visible and if they get an inter-IT trophy, for example, let's say, there will be more people coming into the cultural sphere, and that will in turn ensure that in the long term these people are also going to be catered to. And that's why right now we also need to keep making sure that cultural contingent, which is the most visible one out of all the teams in culturals, is properly catered. And right now as well, as you would probably know, there are a lot of complaints that our contingent is not getting enough budget. And this is something which I won't compromise.
There is also a complaint that the GSP people are not offered projects that they want to do.
Yeah, my point, the Insti as a cultural hub, we are going to be promoting arts first, and that's.
If you're going to give the budget to both contingent and GSP, so where you're getting the extra budget?
So we are just, it's a line of.
So tell me how much your odd semester budget would be.
Like your 10-year budget, odd and even.
30.
30. So like if you want to spend both on contingent and GSP, you need extra budget. So where will you be cutting from the Sangam budget, the areas?
So we'll be reducing.
Major chunk.
We'll be reducing each club's flagship events. My main more concern would be on having the clubs become more regular in their activities and catering more about showcasing the contingent in a more regular fashion than on one big flagship event for every club.
But you, as an event scorer, have proposed to hold 3 or 4 flagship events for each club this semester. Why is that so?
So first off, to start off this, after 2 years, we would need that ignition, that start. So for that, these are the flagship events. And obviously, once it has started off, we'll be using the hype we get from these events to get people into regular culturals. And that's my plan for my tenure as well.
Okay, so you put a manifesto point about the board of culturals.
Yes.
You want all the hostel literary and social secretaries to be part of it.
Yes.
And you want to hold regular meetings as well. What is the incentive for a hostel secretary or a literary secretary? Yeah, this is personal opinion, but they have not been responsive enough for calls for participation in LitSoc. They have not been responsive enough for other activities that have been hosted by the cultural secretaries in the past 3 or 4 years, not just limited to the online tenure. So, you are including them in a committee. How feasible is this initiative in the sense of ensuring participation from all the secretaries that are there in the institute, including the secretaries from the PG hostels as well? So right now we have LitSoc participation from around 8 or 9 hostels who are enthusiastic in participation. Less than that, right? In the online tenure, it's been 5 or 6 max. So I want you to answer this properly. You are adding another responsibility to the literary and social secretaries, which is not under your purview. Okay, these people have no obligation to answer to you according to the students' constitution. How will you make this happen?
So I'll explain the logic behind first why it was set up. Next year we have a lot of secretaries who are 20 batch people, and this is the first time they have come to campus, and they haven't seen an offline LitSoc as of now, and it's happening right. The main reason is that I want to let them interact with each other during these meetings so that they know how the other hostels are performing, what they can take away from these points, and that was the main rationale behind organizing this board. Now I'll tell you how it is feasible. Let's say right now in your hostel you have a LitSec who is not performing. Because that LitSec, there is no metric as such, there is no clear metric to say that that guy is not performing. Let's say is like I created WhatsApp groups. That's what I've done. And basically there is no clear metric to say that that guy is not performing. This, by giving this meetings where you basically can hold them accountable. Let's say you not attended 3 out of 5 of these meetings. This is the main question.
So the question is, what incentive do these elected secretaries have to attend this meeting in the first place? Second, how do you hold them accountable? Right? Like it is only the duty of the hostel GSB to hold their elected representatives accountable. It is not the duty of the entire institute GSB, nor is it the duty of the cultural secretary. Right? This is executive overreach.
So I am not holding them accountable. This is a clear metric which I have given, and the hostel people itself can see that.
So are you saying that the minutes of all of these meetings will be made public at regular intervals throughout the year?
No.
Then
so the meetings will only be used internally. At every 3 of these meetings, we will have a common GSB meeting as well. So where GSB
that you have not mentioned anywhere.
Yes.
So can I take your word for it here that you are going to hold regular GSB? Also, who will attend these GSB meetings? When are they going to be held? I need all details.
Every 3 months it will be held, and we'll hold it at a place like CLT, and anyone is open to come and voice their concerns.
I have a follow-up to this. So you're saying you bring the GSP to the Board of Cultural's meeting?
So every 3, so normally it's only internal discussions. After every 3 meetings, the 4th meeting also, we'll be having GSB also as part of it so that they can voice their concerns at the end
Do you
of it.
realize there are meetings within the hostel itself where...
Yeah. This will be so that they can interact with other hostels as well.
Why are we being held accountable to the GSP
You're
of
not
other
being
hostels?
held accountable. This is just a metric. If you want to be held accountable, if the GSB wants, if your hostel GSB wants to hold
So let's assume that a host, like you are holding these meetings regularly.
Yeah.
Okay, like whatever, you are holding a town hall. Basically, this is a town hall meeting that you're hosting.
Yeah.
Let's assume that no one from a particular hostel is attending these events, nor are they interested, nor is there participation from that particular hostel in the LitSoc events that you're hosting. So, how do you ensure that actual participation from the literary secretaries or social secretaries from these hostels is there in your council meetings or your board of cultural meetings?
So basically, because it's going to be publicized every 4 months, we are also going to give them a record of how many people have attended these meetings, and I can give that to every hostel itself.
So this is what I asked you earlier on. I asked you whether the minutes of these meetings or at least the list of attendees would be publicized.
Minutes of the meeting is different from list of attendees.
Okay,
I'm giving the list of.
You are going to send the list of attendees of all Board of Culturals meetings to the GSB?
Yeah.
Okay.
Also one more point. You said a GSB meeting will be held once in 3 months.
4 months. After every third one.
Okay,
4.
fine. Each semester is around 3 months long.
Yeah.
Do you mean to say that there is going to be just one meeting at the end of each semester?
Yeah. This is basically an internal one where GSB is not a big part of it. They have to come through their hostel secretaries.
How will it make them accountable if one meeting is at the end of their tenure and...
This is not for them to be accountable in a public platform. It's like it's a metric about how many meetings you've attended. And at the end of the semester, the GSB can also come and they can also be part of these discussions. And it's also not only about accountability measure, it's an idea exchange. It's about exchanging ideas with different hostels as well.
Yeah. Just to follow up to this, like why are you doing this? Like what is your the why to this?
So mainly because.
One second. So don't you think Board of Culture is the same as Litsoc Council that you form with the hostel secretaries?
The Litsoc Council is only limited to Litsoc. I am clearly expanding the reach of this.
Yeah, so it's not in the hostel secretaries' duties to
So then why would they be incentivized to participate in these meetings in the first place?
Because they are getting
even if they don't want to participate, it's fine. That is up to them, no?
Yeah, it's up to them. But I'm giving them clear pathway to showcase that they can get something out of this. And because they are the first time, they are 20 batch people.
So for a hostel secretary to participate in for hostel secretaries, Litsoc is part of their purview. It is part of their roles and responsibilities. To organize organize participation from their hostels for Litsoc is part of their roles and responsibilities. And the hostel GSB can hold them accountable for this. Okay. But in case you are hosting, you are discussing other things in these meetings and you are forming a board of culturals, this is not part of what they have signed up for, nor is it part of their stipulated duties, right? So in this case, who can hold them accountable in the first place, right? And second is, how do you ensure that this happens?
I'll clarify.
And what do you do if these people don't attend their meetings?
I'll clarify very simply. First is the roles of a SOC and Litsoc are that they hold Litsoc and also cultural activities for their hostels. And the cultural activities part has been often not focused upon. Litsoc is the main.
You can't say that it is not focused upon.
It's up to the secretaries and the GSB to decide what the cultural activities are. You will be presenting your
as a part of the GSB, when I've seen it, they are not focused on it.
Yeah,
and that is the concern I'm giving to.
That is your personal opinion of what has happened in your hostel.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
And whatever my perspective is, I'm doing it through the message, and whatever I talk with other hostels as well, where there has been excessive focus on Litsoc and not enough focus on cultural activities. This is why this Board of Cultures has been set up. The logic behind, I'll just clarify from this slide. Logic behind setting this up is that two. One is it's giving a clear metric for people to see that how their hostel Litsocs are, how much effort they are putting in, or how much they are trying to put in, instead of some vague terms like I've done this or done that. Second, it's an exchange of ideas, because these are people who have not seen offline Litsoc or before. So this way they can easily exchange ideas with other Litsoc and SOCs. And because the Culsex and Events Core are also there, it's going to be an ideas exchange sort of thing, which will obviously ensure that culture advances.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, I have a question. Can you explain where you're going to get the 12 plus budget for your Mardi Gras point?
So Mardi Gras basically is a weekend festival, and we'll be getting most of our budget from major parts of it from our food stalls and points.
But this is post, right? Like food stalls is something that happens after the event, right?
What do you mean?
Food stalls?
Food stalls happens during the event, no? Where will you get the budget?
So you accounted for 1.75 L for food stalls revenue, right? We need to pay the artist, which also is there.
Food stall is generally our first, because we get the rent from them before. So that's the first thing we target.
This is happening during the theme reveal time, right?
No.
And you said the timeline as it would be similar to Pro Show's night reveal.
Pro Show's
Mardi
night,
Gras. Yes. So it is, yes, it's happening during theme reveal. Mardi Gras.
Theme reveal happens.
During the Mardi Gras event. Post Quest 2. I'm reading from your feasibility report. And you mentioned that the sponsorship would be covering some part of it along with the catering. So, and you mentioned how much sponsorship amount are you expecting?
Estimated it to a minimum of 50K. It is.
And we haven't had any pre-Sarang even in the past few years because
it's not a pre-Sarang event.
Okay, like
this is happening before Sarang, and sponsorship amount will not come for any event before Sarang because for the last 2 years sponsors are paying less for the main event of Sarang as well. So how are you trying to tackle it? What are you going to pitch differently to get 50K for this one event?
So because this is an exclusive event and this is only for InstaTV, it's a different sponsor level which we haven't tried out before.
That is similar to having a pre-Sarang event which is only attended by Insta people.
And the pre-Sarang event, normally we only put up something like a world or a classical night, something of that sort.
This is a professional band performing.
Yeah, which is different from what we normally do.
No, and
No, it's not different from what we normally do. In 2019, we had a performance by a French band in CLT right here before Sarang. This was a pre-Sarang event.
Yeah, and the scale of it was very small. CLT
no, it was not small. CLT was full. It was filled with people. There were people outside also.
Yeah, 250 people inside.
It's not 3. Okay, so tell me, what is the capacity of each of the venues that you have in the institute?
SAC has 2,300 capacity.
It's not 2,300. No, okay. It is around 3,000. It is around 3,000.
And that's
okay.
further to
Yeah, whatever. Continue.
Yeah, and the scale of it is obviously much bigger.
No, I want you to answer this question first. What are the...
I'll tell you how it is different from the piece.
What are the seating capacities of each of the venues in the institute?
Seating. OAT is around 6,000.
Okay.
SAC is around 3,000. And CLT is 250.
It's not 250.
It's around
250. There's another 100 that you have to add. Okay. What are the other venues?
ICSR, but we can't.
Why? What we can't listen?
But you've written in somewhere that you're going to use ICSR halls for that, if I'm not wrong. It's there. Yeah.
Media.
What is the capacity of the ICSR auditorium? Hall 1?
I think it's around 2K.
It's what?
2K. I think.
What?
I think 2. Not sure.
2?
400. Yes.
By the way, do you know that during Sarang the ICSR hall is always booked?
Yeah, that's why I put it as 2-day this thing so that.
When it is always booked, how will the media conference happen in ICSR?
So it's booked because we never book it. We don't have events which are decided till 1 month before. The ICSR is booked way prior to that.
Do you know when we try to book ICSR?
18.
What?
18, 19.
18, 19 of what?
2018.
Huh?
Even answer that.
What time during the
Which month do we try to book ICSR?
What I didn't get that question.
For Sarang, which month? This is a timeline question for Sarang. As a cultural secretary, you are responsible to know what the entire timeline for organizing Sarang is, right? So, when do we try to book ICSR as a venue?
So at least during my tenure as core, we haven't tried to book ICSR.
This year we have not tried to, but it is your responsibility to have understood what has been going on in the team in the past few years.
So I will be booking it at least 3 months prior to it.
We have tried to book it at least 4 months prior in the past.
Okay.
And we still have not gotten permission to use ICSR during January because there is a conference that happens in ICSR and that is more important to the institute compared to Sarang events?
I'll change the venue.
What?
I'll change the venue.
To? What are the alternative venues that you're going to use?
So we'll have to see the schedule of CLT, and we'll also have classrooms.
What is the schedule of
the CLT during? We'll have to see whether there is space in the CLT schedule. If there is there, I'll try to put it in.
Usually there isn't space in the CLT schedule.
There's usually some parts of it, very small parts of it, which we can use.
You're going to use 1 hour slots in between. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, 1 hour slots we can use.
For a media conference that you're hosting.
Part of media conference.
As a follow-up to this, we've tried to get CLT for World Fest. It never happens. We can never get CLT. It's always occupied, or you can't have like a favorable slot to have any performance. So CLT is not happening.
So
because
CLT
of your
doesn't
team.
happening for World Fest because we usually for events see for World Fest at least we have to set up.
Sriram, I'll tell you.
Even for acts that do not require production, it's like that only. You don't get what.
These are not things that require production or anything. Like see, if you have to CLT, you have to clear out what's inside first. That itself takes you 1 or 1.5 hours to move equipment from inside CLT to outside. That is why we do not disturb what's inside CLT.
Okay, so we'll be looking for slots after Spotlight or someday where we won't have much equipment on the stage.
Okay, what are the events that happen in CLT?
Spotlight lectures, jam. We also have some of the workshops conducted here.
You missed out one of the major events that happen in CLT.
You were a member of the drama contingent, I guess, right?
Oh, stage play.
Also, music events also happen in CLT.
Yeah, events in general.
Yeah, music events. Do you know that we need to set up equipment, we need to set up the instruments and everything, and we also have to clear them out before any event happens. Do you know that in the past, multiple offline years, every year a Spotlight lecture has been delayed because we have had difficulty in moving out the equipment or clearing up CLT before the event happens.
Yeah, I know. And I've also seen this with Jam because of the delayed Spotlight lecture, we have Jam delayed as well. But again, I said first we'll try to see if we can fit it somewhere. If not, we'll use classrooms.
So you're trying to use the classrooms, no?
Yeah.
So the venue that you're shifting from ICSR, CLT to classroom for the media conference. So the level of the event gets down for the media conference. So if classrooms are not possible, where you'll go open area, that carnival stage.
I mean, these are something which we'll have to do. If we suddenly have an earthquake and all the classrooms are gone, then we'll have to see that. But otherwise, I don't think the classrooms will be gone suddenly.
Can I ask? Yeah, so one of your reasons to conduct Mardi Gras is to give ample on-ground experience, right? Over a 2-day period. The existing model that is there is, let's take pro shows for example, or informals. They will be conducting 3 night releases over 3 different time periods, right? With different level of exposure depending on the night. And this, whatever Mardi Gras right now, is just for them to organize a subpar artist based on your budget to give people a feel of what Sarang is. One of the reasons pre-Sarang never happens is the quality of the artist is the most important metric, because we don't want people to associate anything else apart from quality with pre-Sarang. Which was the last time it happened, it was Maunavar and Maya Kamati in 2019. So do you think that both your objectives here are not actually getting met for one of the main teams, in my opinion, for having on-ground experience?
I don't think a team is a main team. All the teams are equally important to me. And secondly, I'm giving people experience, the on-ground experience here for process listing. It's about how to set up production, which you won't be doing during your team releases. And
why not?
Why will you be setting production during?
Okay, tell me how a team release, normal night release happens. Give me all the details on where it happens, when it happens, and who are the teams that are involved in this.
Let's take one team review. So we'll be setting up a normal stage in Himalaya. We'll have informals, pro shows, spawns, all being part of it. And they'll be setting up multiple stalls in other zones as well. So that
what are the other zones?
Messes.
Give me, there is a set number and a set places that we keep.
So outside Nilgiris. And
how many venues are there? Tell me that. Because I specifically said this in my fun days to you.
Four stalls.
No, wrong.
3.
It's 6. Tell me at least. Okay. Okay, so
Hostels
basically.
also.
Huh?
Hostels also will be setting up.
Okay. And okay, go on.
And yeah, so in the theme you will be having the players, and there will be Informers Club will be doing the interactive activities there, and the ticketing also pre-release. So those are the main things.
So,
So
ticket sales is a major part of a night release,
yeah.
right? In fact, it is one of the without
yeah.
that doesn't make sense. Right now, for Mardi Gras, whoever will come, they're coming for the show, and then there's food and all of that. Doesn't this take away sort of the spotlight on what we need to achieve, because we need to reach that target of 7L or whatever during that period, right?
Mm-hmm.
So in this, in your feasibility and your manifesto, ticket sales are not even a small part of your consideration. So how are you going to account?
So the ticket sales are not there because it's going to be throughout the event, and the process is going to be at the end of it. So because it's at the weekend, we can also expand it to 3 days as well. I'm open to expansion here, so that we give ample exposure to ticket sales as well.
No, firstly, if you expand it, even like the very fact that you have a show happening in the same timeline as ticket sales means that a very small team of people has to worry about putting up a good show, making sure our audience has a good experience, and selling tickets at the same time, which is an impossible task to do. You cannot stretch it over that many days because you can't spill over into the week as well.
Yeah, exactly. So the solution for that is that process will be handling most of the artist thing, and for ticket sales, we'll also be having the events team be part of helping them, because
events team helping with ticket sales.
Collaborating.
When has the events team ever sold tickets?
It hasn't. It will collaborate.
Why? Like, why should it?
We are giving you manpower.
Why should it?
Why not?
Is there a team in Sarang that does sales?
Yeah, we need a huge manpower. MNS is obviously going to be stressed during this period as well.
So apart from Mardi Gras, are you going to have any other night releases, or is it just this one event? Usually there are 3 night releases, right? Plus team release, 4.
Yeah.
So is this a substitute for all 4?
No.
So you're going to have that plus this.
So this will have only 1 night release and 1 theme during the.
And there'll be other couple night releases.
Yeah. Because the artist won't be confirmed by.
Do you know how much budget we spend, like how much we spend per night release?
Again, the main thing behind Mardi Gras is that it's breaking even on its own.
No, do you know the amount? Or?
We spend money on 2 things for night releases for X amount of time for Y units. This also is something that should have been part of your fund days. Tell me what they are.
So we spend mostly on FR and.
There are it's a name. There are 2 things, and you get it for these many days and these many units. You need to know this. You need to know this as a culture.
So we'll be having production.
I'm not asking for something generic like production, FR, marketing. 2 specific instruments almost. What are they? Have you been to a night release?
Yes.
What are the 2 things that you see and listen to? Bro, I'm telling you, it's a projector and a speaker. We have 6 when those are the 2 things that we spend money on.
I mentioned earlier when we are going to play the Look Back movie or something. It's going to be played on a projector and a screen.
Yeah, but when
okay,
how much do we spend on it?
Spend around 15K.
Have you gotten fund days on this?
You spent 15K on a projector and a screen.
How many projectors and how many screens? I just told you how many venues we have. So like when something one of your things is to like mobilize your team and getting them to onboard. Like when you yourself don't have this is like basic knowledge of what one of your teams does. How are you going to make sure that you're going to mobilize your entire team to also have the same kind of knowledge transfer? When, in my opinion, you're yourself lacking in quite a lot of it.
I can cover this.
Okay, so we'll move on to the audience question first, and then we'll.
1 second.
It's already been 45 minutes.
Yeah, can I ask one question?
Yeah,
last question. It's about Sarang Marathon. You weren't there when we were giving fund days, when the entire sponsor team was giving fund days to the culture, so I'm not sure if you have taken fund days separately. I wanted to ask about Sarang Marathon. You said that your feasibility has been approved by all the stakeholders. I'm guessing sponsors.
I've taken some.
You're taken from?
Saket.
You're taken from who?
The present.
Present who?
Spontaneous person. Saket.
Brother, there are three
There are three spawn scores.
All of them in inside.
And there are a bunch of other aspiring spawn scores as well. And you went to someone who's aspiring for the QMS score position to take fund days for the spawns department.
Fund days. This was just a feasibility. Because this
They
was a small
can't give
one.
feasibility for a social campaign based marathon.
Again, the main feasibility I taken was from sports. The spawns thing was an addition which I hoped would be a valuable addition.
No, this is Sarang Marathon, and you mentioned that it will be conducted by Spons team. One. Second, marathon will provide an additional sponsorship avenue. Two. Third, it is related to raise awareness about the social campaign. Three of these things comes under sponsorship and PR team of Sarang.
Yes.
And you haven't taken feasibility of it. One. And the other thing is, do you know that we can't actually sell social campaign event to the sponsors? They are not interested in spending money on social campaign events.
So they don't need to spend money.
Do you know how much budget we have? Do you know how much budget we have to conduct any event for social campaign on ground event?
Again, a Sarang Marathon doesn't have that much budget requirements.
How much?
It's well less than 10K.
What exactly is the budget? What you planned for it? What is your feasibility plan? What is your budget? When do you plan to conduct it? How much do you spend on it? What are the separate headers under you will be spending money on?
So mainly it will be first the refreshments for the people involved, and we'll also the refreshments. That is where the spawns will be coming, because these are very small kind deals, and we can easily.
We won't get kind deals for an event that is happening like before Sarang. Kind deals. Do you know when we contact companies for kind deals?
Again, we'll start contacting.
Do you know why we can't contact companies earlier? That's because when we contact companies earlier, in kind deals, they only confirm like a month before Sarang. So we have to contact them in like November and then December. Otherwise, they would be like, why are we giving our kind so early? Why are we committing to giving our kind so early? So when I plan to conduct this marathon?
The start of Sarang, as I mentioned.
It's happening on the start of Sarang.
Yeah.
Day 1 of Sarang. Day 0 of Sarang.
Day 0.
Day 0.
Yeah.
So
this will start off.
Then what is the lighting, the lamp thing which we do in front of OIT? Inside OIT?
That's the official start.
So what is this, bro? What is this unofficial start and official start of Sarang?
We have our stage.
Clarification.
We'll move on to the audience question.
Just a clarification. Sarang Marathon has already happened in the past.
We have done it on the Boon social campaign. So you're doing it in the same, and we have also done it for Evolve Summit.
Yeah, and it's been done for sports as well.
Yeah, so this is something that has already happened. You can do it as part of your tenure. Why is it a part of your manifesto? Why is it there? Right.
It's a follow on. I'm going
it's
to
a
do
what?
it again. Because you did it a long back. I'm going to do it again.
Okay,
Sure,
that is
we'll
fine.
move to
We'll move on to the audience question. Anyone from the audience have any question? Please raise your hand.
So, one of your previous positions has been OC and CC convener. I just want to ask you, from that experience, from that tenure, can you name any initiative of yours that has sustained and has been successful?
Women's rep.
As the OC convener.
Women's rep.
Women's rep is a position, I mean an event or an initiative for that sense.
Again, it's an initiative, right? Women's rep is an initiative which I've gotten as part of the already. And it has sustained. It has been successful also.
Okay, anyone else? There are no questions. No, there are no audience. We'll move back to you.
Sarang village. What do you plan on keeping outside CLT? The layout.
Okay. Sarang village is basically for 5 days. Each day we'll be focusing on a few different things. The list of the things are, we'll have local games for that particular region. We'll have local showcases. So something like dance or music or something which is relevant to that particular region. We'll have local cuisines. We'll have local cuisines as well. And apart from that, anything which is specialty of that particular region or something which signifies that region, we'll have that as well. So it will be a bunch of stalls getting to that.
Okay, one practical question. If day 0 of Sarang, FR will already be busy with setting up each and every major requirement on Sarang. You plan to put the Sarang village for 5 days. If I remember correctly, in Sarang 2020, the carnival was not ready by the end of day 1. Street Sports Arena was not ready by the end of day 1. What will you prioritize on as FR requirement? You are putting up a bunch of stalls before day 0 here.
Yeah, so the stalls are usually taken care of at the starting itself. So all the stalls are taken care of at the starting. So there is no me prioritizing something and being like, okay, stop half the stalls, then we'll do the carnival stage and then we'll do the other.
Day 1 of Sarang, you are delaying carnival, World Fest stage and all those other requirements if you are prioritizing on this.
All the days of Sarang.
All fine.
On day 1 itself, Pro Shows has a constraint on the FR, like manpower that needs to like move stuff in OAT. There's always a delay, and one of the major concerns that the Rock Card works on is optimizing this. So even Panache, we try to optimize there, which is something that needs to happen. How are we going to make sure that something that they're going to have a 5-day thing also run?
So the 5-day thing is basically there's going to be few stalls set up. They'll be used for all the 5 days. So it's just 4 or 5 additional stalls which are being set.
So, like, after setting up the stalls, there's no other work?
No, there's no other requirement.
Okay, so this is a situational question. So imagine that your PopNet artist is going through a bunch of Me Too allegations, and this is day 3. There is a lot of PR around this, and it's all over the news. What is your plan of action? This is day 3, offline Sarang, all tickets have been sold, and you've conducted all the other shows. This is, and you just realize this at the end of your EDM night.
So basically, we'll have the, what is the presence here? So the PopNet artist is there, and we have 1 day to decide on what to do with this, right? And the allegations are all, like it's just social media or like it's media allegations.
Yes.
There's nothing. So I'll first see what the allegations are, how, not me, as in there will be a committee set up. So we'll...
you will set up a committee in a span of how many hours?
Committee, I'll call it a committee. It will be mainly people, so that people know that something is being done. Again, we are fighting PR with PR here. And the main thing they will be doing is exploring what is going on and seeing if we have anything substantial to work on. And if there is even a slightest doubt that
okay, what are you going to do about the show? Like, you'll put one committee, you'll sit and investigate. Tomorrow
I'm getting to that. So once we've seen, like there's 2 cases. One is that whether we cancel the artist or whether we don't cancel the artist. If we do, if we find out that I'm going to cancel the artist, then the show has to be...
how are you going to find out that you're going to cancel the artist?
Who are you to judge the validity of allegations that are placed on someone who is entirely disconnected from whatever you are part of? Right? Who are you to judge that? And see, there is a lot of negative PR related to the artist. That was the basic principle behind the question. Okay. So now you have a lot of negative PR related to the artist. What exactly is your plan of action for the next day? It is day 3 night.
If I can hold the agency accountable for this behavior.
See, let's say somebody came and told you right now that there is a lot of negative PR going on. Let's say he's trending on Twitter, all of that. Right now, show is tomorrow evening. What is your plan of action? Are you going to cancel or not?
Yeah.
And then after?
So because
you just cancel and you'll go off.
We'll reschedule.
You will reschedule Sarang.
We'll reschedule that event because according to the ticketing policy, we'll have to refund the...
Did you take Pro Shows Sundays?
Bro, wait, like take 30 seconds and give a thorough answer. Don't give one sentence and one word. Take 30 seconds. and a complete plan of what you'll do with what stakeholders, what will you tell each stakeholder on what is going to happen, completely, proper answers. 30 seconds you take.
So I wouldn't want the artist to be associated with Sarang if they have a lot of negative PR. Next, what we do is see about what we can do about the show itself. So if we can extend the opening act maybe, or if we can get, I'm sure we can't get a replacement at this time.
We might be able to.
Okay.
The agency might be able to get you a replacement artist.
Yeah, if we can get a replacement artist, that's what we do.
If you don't get a replacement,
so we'll have to extend the opening act, and then if we can't get a replacement, we'll refund half their money back.
But the show is happening.
That is okay. We have overstretched the question now. We can move on to the next question.
Okay. Again, situational question. Imagine Weekender is happening. Okay. And you have a freshie come to you crying, saying that someone harassed them. Okay. So, what exactly will you do?
So again, this is not entirely under my purview. This is something which the CCAS committee, and so I give them the necessary contacts and make sure that.
No, a freshie came to you and said this, and your first response is, "This is not under my purview, it's under CCAS."
We want to know what answer.
Just let him answer the question first, then we can respond.
So I'll explain the reasoning behind that. So I can't directly do stuff. As in, there are other committees set up. So I'll be helping this freshie go to these committees.
Can you name some of those committees?
Seeker and Sati. Sati goes.
Sati would be doing this. They'd be deliberating on these complaints.
No, Sriram, we want to know what you will do at that moment when the freshie comes to you. What is your plan of action for the next 2 days? Okay. From that moment, what is your first step?
Okay, so first I'll get her friends and her or his friends come and console. Basically, basic mental requirements. Next on it will be I'll contact the SES and tell them what has happened. From my side, I'll be doing an internal review for seeing which parts of the team or what has happened.
Does that mean that you already assume that the harassment came from the team side?
No, from the team, internal, the team will be doing it.
Okay.
Not?
Why are you laughing there?
He's laughing. You're also. Okay. So what I'll be doing after that is basically being in constant touch with all the authorities, seeing, updating on the case and seeing what's going on.
Do you think there should be 2 cultures?
Dare to answer the question,
depending on this year, I don't think there should be one Kalsek. I think this year we need 2 Kalseks.
Okay, so this is November mid. Your, God forbid, your co-Kalsek passes away. What is your plan of action?
So November mid is how many months left?
Please maintain silence, let him answer.
I think there's still more than 4 months left for the tenure. So there's still more than 4 months left. So for the tenure to end, if they were alive.
So this is also to test your understanding of its written constitution and what happens with respect to the resignation of an executive council member, right? So there are some procedures that are followed regularly. So we would like you to answer in that regard and what you would do with respect to Sarang, etc.
So because there are more than 4 months left, we'll be having a re-election and we'll be getting a new person elected. And for Sarang and all, I'll be taking up majority part of it because the new person has to get debriefed in a very short amount of time. So that will be something I'll have to take care of.
Person's dead and there's nothing said about that.
I'll also attend the funeral.
Okay, that is fine. We'll move on to next question now.
Just a follow-up to it, you still feel that the re-election is necessary and you can't handle all these things alone?
Again, I can handle it, but it's the procedure which is there. So I'll have to abide by the rules.
So Sriram, my question is, I think you will be well aware that Sarang is still, for the past 2 years at least, Sarang is facing a cash crunch in terms of whatever sponsorship that Sarang team is getting. So what are your plans to increase any other source of revenue in terms of not just sponsorship, first, and second, within the sponsorship team or getting the monetary deals, what are the new things that you are looking out or how you will improve the cash inflow that will come to Sarang?
So I would, in long term, try to shift Sarang from a sponsorship model to a revenue model, so that we would mostly be focusing on streams of revenue than this sponsorship.
How much revenue does Sarang gets through pro shows, events, and all other things, and how much monetary money that Sarang gets? Consider an offline scenario.
I think in 2020 we had 85, 86 for M&S and pro shows, and for events pass. Revenue.
Socials and M&S.
Yeah. As in the revenue shows in merch. From food stalls, I think we got around 16 or 17. And from spawns, we got around 60, 70 something, around that range. And even spawns, we got a small amount, about few lakhs. And we had a small investment, like partner.
Cool, fine. Let's end this thing. What are the new sponsorship revenues that you are looking at, and how will you improve the cash? The second part of the question.
So a new sponsorship avenue, Mardi Gras, I believe, is a new sponsorship avenue, which is that.
Do you know you are not allowed to get sponsors for year-long activities as part of Sarang?
Yes, sir.
You are not allowed to get in any sponsors for year-long activities if it's Sarang.
It's not a year-long activity.
Year-long as in if it's happening within the year.
Yeah, as in it's not branded as pre-Sarang, because that would obviously give it a lesser feel.
But you want to get in sponsor through Sarang sponsor team and you want to use it for basically Sarang ultimately. But you don't want to brand it or portray it that way.
Yeah, it's a different.
So it's a scam.
The thing is, the branding is basically to give the NC people how we are branding it, and it's obviously a thing. Again, sponsor and PR team have to take care of the PR of it and see that the pre-Sarang is obviously less attractive than calling it Mardi Gras.
Okay. So both the aspirants to your counterpart position, that is the Culture have put up a point about hosting inter-IIT cultures at IIT Madras. So what is your opinion on this? And in case that, okay, so what is your opinion on this? Do you want to do it, yes or no?
No.
No, okay. Just in case that your elected counterpart, just because they want to fulfill a manifesto point, forces you and convinces you to host the inter-IIT cultures here at IIT Madras, what would the timeline for this year look like?
So the whole year's timeline.
With respect to hosting inter-IIT cultures.
Again, it would happen in December.
No, but like organizing it. Like, what is the timeline for organizing?
Okay. So, please. So I'll just go through how I would ideally organize it. So we'll have separate teams being hired to organize every of the events which are hosted. First we'll be bidding for it somewhere, and then afterwards we'll have
somewhere
before the event.
No, somewhere. Where?
I think at the start of the semester.
Where? Not when. Where?
Where? Good place. I think it's online. The bidding.
What bidding? Where do you bid?
In front of who will you bid? Who will you bid to?
Who will be part of the...
Yes.
All the cultural secretaries of all the institute and...
What is the entity called that you're bidding on?
Board of IITs.
Board of IITs. Are you sure?
I'm not sure about the exact naming, but yeah, I know that there's going to be bidding happening, and once that is done, I haven't focused on it because I don't want to host the entire IIT.
So you don't want to host the entire IIT?
No, I've said that before.
You already said that.
Yeah.
We'll move on to next.
No, the question is, right now you missed out on a major part of your responsibility as a cultural secretary by not knowing what council that there is one council that you are a part of as a cultural secretary of IIT Madras. What is this council that organizes the entire IIT?
I haven't taken finance.
Okay.
Wait, I wanted to ask one more thing. As Nitish mentioned at the beginning, and you only mentioned Mardi Gras as the new sponsorship avenue, which is not a pre-Sarang event, according to you, and which is still going to bring 50k sponsorship.
Okay, I'm not saying it's not. It's like, it's not going to be branded as pre-Sarang.
So it is not a pre-Sarang event.
Wait, you started off by putting it in Sarang bucket as a first point and writing it pre-Sarang extravaganza. And you are saying you won't brand it as a pre-Sarang event.
Yeah, that was a mistake. It was supposed to be weekend extravaganza.
Oh, yeah. Okay, understood. So what is actually your expanded sponsorship deliverables or any new avenues that you have in mind?
So this Mardi Gras itself is...
It's a weekend event. We can't get sponsorship for a Sangam event.
It's not Sangam. It's Sangam.
Then...
It's just not being branded as pre-Sarang. We are not telling people in Insti that it's pre-Sarang.
I'll help you there. So, what will you tell to the sponsor?
Sponsor I can tell as pre-Sarang. For Insti people, I'm not telling it as pre-Sarang.
Okay, fine. So, for any sponsorship deal, you'll have to sign an MOU, agreed?
Yeah.
MOU will be signed under what name? Or for which particular thing?
It will be signed on Mardi Gras pre-Sarang.
Pre-Sarang event.
Yeah, and the MOUs are not going to be seen by Insti.
What? No. Come again. MOUs won't be seen by?
GSB.
MOU won't be seen by?
GSB, generally, public.
GSB.
Yeah.
Okay. Who do you think doesn't allow to get sponsorships for pre-Sarang events? Or any pre-Shastras event or pre-Summit event?
SLC.
Huh? SLC.
As in, what I mean is, we are not going to publicize it. That MOU, there is an MOU here.
If you take an MOU to the staff office and make Dino's friend sign it, he won't sign an MOU if any activity is happening pre-Sarang and you are trying to get sponsorship for this.
Wait. So, are you saying that we won't get sponsorship for a pre-Sarang?
You are not allowed to get any sponsorship money for any pre-Sarang activity, is what I'm saying.
Pre-Sarang activity?
Yes.
Related to Sarang?
Related to Sarang, any activity which is happening before Sarang.
We can't sell individual events to sponsor. That's the main point.
So I'm not going to sell this as an individual event. It's basically, I'm like, whoever sponsor comes to Sarang, this will be pitched as an addition to whatever they're getting there. So
Then
there may
it's a
be...
pre-Sarang event.
Yeah.
Then it's branded as a pre-Sarang event.
Not to the general
Not to
public.
GSP but to Dost office, correct?
Yes.
I am saying Dost office won't sign an MOU. What will you do then?
They won't sign an MOU, then I'll scale down the event.
Then you will?
Scale down the event. Because we have...
Then
because
it's
if,
the Muslim team reveal, no? If
yeah,
you're scaling
because
it down,
it's
then
a scaled
team
down
reveal.
theme reveal. A scaled down Mardi. What's the confusion here?
Okay, fine. We'll be taking questions for more than just more than 5 minutes. Just last couple of questions. That's all.
Yeah, sure. Thanks. So like Shastra did an EDM night a few years ago. They did comedy night couple of years now, and they can potentially do rock and pop also. First, what is your opinion on Shastra conducting cultural entertainment events? And what will you do to make sure that they don't get Shankar Mahadevan or someone better in future years for Shastra?
Okay. Basically,
Discuss with Nitish also.
Yeah, so I don't think Shastra should be doing any cultural entertainment.
No, not only that. Why can't INR also get Shankar Mahadevan? Same reason.
Again, I don't think Shastra should be doing. And we don't have fest, so don't do.
Who's stopping us from creating a fest?
There is no stopping here. We are all free people. There is no stopping anyone from creating this. So what I will be doing is discussing with those and aspiring INR and COCAS people, and we'll come to a conclusion saying, this is what are our jurisdictions. We'll respect each other's boundaries. That's the manufacture.
Fine, the last question, that's all. We'll conclude the session.
I have one question, then that could be a last question after that.
Yeah.
No, let him ask.
Still 7. The next book is scheduled in half an hour.
Okay, so just to confirm with you, when do convener terms start and end for events like for OC or comedy club? You are already convener. When do convener terms start and end?
So we start in April.
Right.
April, June.
And they end in?
Then again the same.
April, right? Approximately. So to continue from this, when and what was your first and last event as OC convener? As far as I remember, it was September and February. So just to confirm with you, was that the case?
So what do you mean by event?
I think it's event initiative, etc.
So we started my tenure started. We started the OC page during the start of my tenure in summer.
September.
In summer.
The
first post was on September, but the page was started in summer.
The page was made 2 years ago, before your tenure.
And comedy was made during my tenure.
Yes, but I'm talking about OC here.
What?
Already a convener also.
Those were two clubs. My tenure, they were clubbed together. And my tenure.
They were not clubbed together, they were
as a convener.
You were the convener of both clubs.
Yeah,
yes,
but
so you were already
on
technical. So my question relates to events as an Oratory Club convener. When and what was your first event and your last event?
Again, I was not a single OC club convener.
But you were also the OC club convener, right?
It was clubbed. It was called OC and CC. And my tenure was
called
OC.
Okay, so are you admitting to not prioritizing OC as much as CC?
Again, we have to start somewhere. I started out with CC. Yeah.
When was your first OC event? So you're saying for 6 months, all you did was CC?
We were ideas.
Okay, that's all. You want to ask a question? Yeah, that would be the last question.
Yeah, so I mean, this very similar to what JE point I mentioned before. So as global engagement team also looks into like foreign exchange students. So yeah, so I mean you were part of the GE events team, so I assume you would know a lot about the council as a whole and what the council does, even though there was no team. So what do you think like could be done, because to include foreign exchange students in the cultural sphere as a whole?
So my plans to include foreign exchange students right now have not been explored that much. My plans would basically be trying to get to collaborate with the aspiring INR and get them, help them with their initiatives. I don't have any particular initiatives on my own.
Yeah, but okay, comparing it to what is currently being done, what more will you be doing? Like you are just saying that okay, in the future you'll just see what INR secretary has a point. That doesn't say much about what vision you have on your own, right? I'm asking what vision you have, not what the INR secretary is thinking about.
My main vision is not concerning foreign exchange students right now. My main vision.
Okay, so you're saying that internationalization is not a major point for you, even though institute as a whole, where we have got an Institute of Eminence Award where internationalization is an important point, and you're not considering that as an important point for cultural arts.
Yeah, because there is only few things I can focus on. These are first what I'll focus on. If there's leftover, I'll focus on that as well.
Leftover, okay.
So, what is your take on spending Gymkhana money on Madras Minishi and Open Scrabble and Open Crossy for the outside students?
So, the logic behind spending it on outside students is that it's increasing it's sort of like our social cash. It's increasing our spending on social cash. and we are becoming more prominent in these circles. So especially at the Bliss Club, which is prominent in the Chennai circle, it's an integral part of how we spend it. That's why it's there.
Okay, let that be. So I want your plan on selections for teams like. So the work of a Cultsec, however good you are, depends on what your team consists of and the talent that you have in your team, right? So I want your plan on selections for DevOps, media, design, and QMS. These are pain points that we have right now in terms of aspirants and talent for the upcoming year. And QMS going into recertification year, we have a high risk of losing ISO certification. And for design, there are no aspirants currently. For media, there is one aspirant. For DevOps, I'd like to say that this year was not the optimal year. So what is your plan of selection of talent, and how do you plan to make sure that the next year there are no issues in terms of timeline or execution with regards to SARA?
Yeah, so for QMS,
okay, that was the last question. We won't be taking any more. That is fine. You can answer the question. That's all.
So I'll go team Matt. So for media, we have one aspirant and he's very introverted. So we'll be following the regular schedule. We'll also be making sure that by using the work platform and all, there's clearer communication between all the teams. For design, we'll be scouting outside, and the process can be delayed a bit. The course selection can be delayed a bit, so that it happens a bit parallelly with the super chord and their chord selections. Since we are more moving towards each team having in-house design, so the main focus would be not on more number of people, but on collaborating and making sure everyone works together properly. For DevOps, we'll be focusing first on getting aspiring cores who have the enough fields for the team, and then next, because there is no proper pure ladder right now, so we'll also be focusing this year on getting super chords. These super chords will be at the level of the course, and there, so that not only the course will be doing the back end and the front end, there will be people for them to back them up as well. And all the cards will also be, during the summer, we'll have all the cards and the super cards work on the Sangam website, and any MOOCs we can give them, because MOOCs is going to be an integral part next year. And by giving them that priority, instead of just having them ideate on how they would connect their tenure, we're giving them hands-on experience on how to create a new MOOCs team, which is going to be a great product. And for QMS, it's a recertification year, so we will be again depending on you, Ajmal, to make sure that you'll be, yeah, please come back and keep in touch with the aspiring course as well, so that the fund days are given properly. And we'll also be using, as you said, you had appointed transition committee. So it's an informal transition committee where we'll be having all the QMS people. What? No, there is not going to be a transition committee. It's going to be informal, and we are going to contact them normally and during the SARA as well, so that we get enough, what is it, I'll explain.
Going to have alumni involvement in SARA, that's all.
Yeah.
Okay, that's all. So, thank you everyone for joining. We would be concluding. That's what we have asked. No, that is fine. We don't want to ask a question. Thank you everyone for joining. We would like to conclude the session now. Thank you so much.